good.
I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We are short Peter, our staff member right now, but he'll be here in just a little bit. He got held up in traffic. So let's go ahead and, I guess, has everyone had a chance to look at the agenda? We don't do paper agendas at the meeting, but we do
I need to look at
Yeah,
it.
those electronics.
online ones, so make sure everybody had a chance to see it.
I did look at it, but I need to look at it
You're not sharing?
Well, I mean, I
I'm
just,
just kidding.
again.
if anybody really needed to see a paper agenda, I might be able to get them.
Oh, there's, yeah, the
I could
invasive.
definitely make you one.
There's something wrong with this committee printing paper agenda.
I know.
Yes, there is.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. Does anyone have any issues with the agenda? Everything look okay? All right. Good
Looks
deal.
good.
Let's move forward. We're going to kind of do this a little backwards than what we would normally do. Peter's going to talk in a little bit when he gets here, and Aubrey's going to do a slideshow. But until they get here and want to run the equipment, we're going to just go to the last things on the agenda, which is under the announcement section. Aubrey had a discussion he wants, and what we're going to do is add this to our next meeting's agenda, but talking about the certified wildlife habitat community.
Oh, yeah. It's our deal.
You
We're
mean-
going to start off with you if that's okay.
Start off with that?
Yeah, because we're not here, Peter's not here yet, so he's got to run the technology for all the other things in the meetings.
Well, the two things that what I'm planning to do is show some outdoor photos, primarily from Pinnacle Prairie, which is the biggest coup we made with the certified habitat community honor. The biggest thing we've gotten so far is Pinnacle Prairie. And let's see, 2010 now. How long has that been? Or 11, 10. Anyway, 4.5 years or something since we got that honor. We should be adding more yards and even things similar to Pinnacle's land, where there's some big factories in Springdale that actually have started managing their prairie land that's associated with the grounds around it. Most of them have big pieces of land that they are using to mow and nothing else. And so I'm hoping that we can just get, if each of us would get one or two people to actually start to think about doing their yard. And it's pretty simple, really. You start planting native plants, including native grass, and you make a list of the trees in your yard that are native species and the flowers that you're growing and those things. I bet you've got your yard done, right?
I did, yeah, I got it done when we did.
So every one of them, they don't have to be big. Something the size of this room would be a big one, in fact. If you can set aside that much space on your property and actually make it natural. So it costs, what, $25 to enroll, and
20, well, I can't
20
remember.
or 25,
something.
and same amount to do the sign.
Yeah, the signs, if you're gonna,
Want the
the
sign.
sign, which, yeah, it's extra.
And you can get fancy signs. I
You
remember
know-
somebody's got one that cost $150. It's bigger, it's set in concrete or something, really nice. But these are just on a stand, you know. And if you've been to a lot of the parks, you've seen the parts of the park where they put in a certified habitat.
And the schools.
sign. And the schools, yes.
Schools all
Bunch
have
of schools
Lots
have
of the
it.
schools have them.
But we haven't been doing enough, and I, take my portion of the guilt in that I haven't been out hustling the way I thought I would because you've got to talk to people and hand them little flyers, which we can get more of the old ones, or we could possibly get some new ones done, updated. But
I
that,
think when Terry Lane rotated off, we kind of lost our champion and nobody.
We did.
that's
picked it up.
right, nobody wanted to take full responsibility for it.
We did.
And that, it's a tough thing. And I know lots of places that qualify that haven't got the certification. You know, private yards that are bigger than this, run by a great amount and have magnificent gardens with native plants, and they just haven't signed up for it.
It's just, you just have to say that you've got cover and water and
Right,
like
cover,
4 or 5 things you check off.
and almost everybody has
Right.
what they're asking for. It's pretty easy to do. We could start with everybody on the committee.
Yeah,
They're not-
if you haven't
if you
done
have
it,
not
look
become,
into it.
your yard is not a certified wildlife habitat, then it's, because I thought, oh my gosh, I couldn't possibly do that. And Terry said, go online to, and it's,
National Wildlife Federation.
yeah, National Wildlife Federation, and look at what you need to have a certified wildlife habitat. And I had to bring in little saucers so the little critters could get water that on the ground. I had bird baths, but, you know, so it was, and I had everything else, shelter and native plants and things like that. And I mean, it's easy and it's fun, and that would be a good start right there, just everybody on here. And if, like, I've already got mine certified, so my job would be to find somebody else. So if every one of us got one person, either ourselves or somebody else, we'd have a start.
And I do volunteer to lead seed collecting, because I have lots of places in mind where we can get some native flower seeds and even native grass. If we did it right now, we could get several species of native grass seed from Pinnacle Prairie without going all the way to Woolsey or anywhere like that. It's a mile and a half from here to Pinnacle Prairie. And so,
How big is Pinnacle Prairie, do you know?
10 or 12 acres, and maybe not that much of it's managed that way. So,
Can you tell the people who may not know where it's at?
Oh,
or that may
okay.
be watching where that's at?
if you know where Pinnacle Food Company's factory is on 15th Street, which used to be Campbell Soup, and the stream that runs off of there from several directions, we called it Soup Branch, because there's a story from 40 years ago or 30-something that they once had a spill and soup went down the stream, and but it's a pretty clean stream, and it holds water on the land, and it soaks in there. It's doing all the stuff that you're trying to get bigger places to do and try to restore former prairie. Just about anything that was prairie in the past and has been either a hayfield or a cattle feeding area will become prairie again if you go about 2 years of mowing only in the winter. Now, at Woolsey Wet Prairie and Lake Fayetteville Prairie Restoration Area, they spend a minimum of $5,000 on having a team come from Oklahoma who are certified to burn it off. Well, you don't want to burn off your yards in your neighborhood. You wouldn't be popular because of that hurry. But by mowing it only in the summer, you can get rid of the fescue and
Only
the
in the
non-native grass. And so,
Only in the winter, right?
in the winter.
In the
In the
winter.
winter.
And Pinnacle Prairie management, I mean, the Pinnacle Food Management guys are going to mow sometime in November. last year we missed the period when it started raining. It'd been dry, and I called over there one day, I couldn't get a hold of the guy. And the next thing I know, it was raining cats and dogs, and it kept on till, what, July? And so it was way late, but that, it just makes it all new again. Everything, you don't want to take down all the trees, like willow trees and the button bushes and a lot of beautiful things that should not be burned off or even mowed down or brush hogged in the winter. But the majority of space where you've got little cedars coming up, well, cedars are good, they're good habitat. There's a butterfly, beautiful butterfly that only grows on a cedar tree. I mean, caterpillars have to have a cedar tree to grow. Yeah, it's just like monarchs have to have milkweed plants to grow. Their caterpillars will not happen without it. So anyway, it's just a lot of fun and interesting thing to be involved in, and I do want to show some slides to show what's important about it.
I wonder if we know how to turn this projector on.
There's a thing back there, and
I think it's right here. I've never personally ran this. It comes falling down from the ceiling. That's all it does in bands.
okay, but where do we put the DVD in? Back here?
It all goes.
Make your computer easier to use.
Oh, like,
Windows will read and
I
scan
didn't
this
mean to
list
do that.
automatically.
I got that on.
Press the space bar to select the highlighted option.
Don't know what I did right or
That
wrong.
was me. I double
Missing
tapped the
lunch.
space bar and started talking.
Well, there you go.
Hear text on screen. Read
Nope,
aloud narrative.
Rather not, thanks.
So have you guys ever eaten?
Sorry, y'all, I would
Yeah.
know how to use this, but I just,
Great.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Hard to find a seat if you go at the wrong time.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Well, I guess we went during the week and,
Yeah, during the week it's always open. It's great.
Well, I hear the
Well,
fan.
I'm not sure that he's got signal coming out of the computer
Yeah,
to it yet.
yeah.
Well, although
Right.
obviously it's on.
Yeah, I like to look at Cafe a lot.
so I first time just to run.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Yeah,
really
so it's
good.
on.
So we'll be
Here
back.
you go, Albert. Somebody's gonna have to log into it.
Okay, but I still don't know how to open the.
Oh, where's the delete key on this keyboard?
Right here.
Oh, thank you.
So is this switch
Go
using?
get someone to walk in.
Now let's see what it does.
have others of you done the wildlife habitat?
I did my yard back.
Your yard?
Terry got me to do it before I was on the committee.
Yeah, I did mine too. I'm interested in networking with yard people about water, because water was a big predicament in my setup until I made this discovery. And I don't know for sure if it's legal.
But you're gonna tell on television whether, what you did.
Yeah.
We have the maps.
Take one,
One
pass
can
it
go
down,
on
and just
stage.
pass it around
I'll
visually.
go around and
Okay.
pass them out.
You buy me
Is it on the computer in the back?
Yeah, at least as far as we know.
Yes.
What is this?
This is American basket flower seed.
Oh,
And
yes.
if we get to see the slideshow, we'll see some pictures of American basket
Well,
flowers.
your milkweed came up.
Yeah, you can see it on the
So I
screen.
think this is fresh. And John Rule just sat here and put these in small packages for you.
Can you plant them now? Aubrey, can you
Mm.
plant them now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can plant them now, but I would recommend, from my experience, plant some now,
Some of the spring.
but keep a bunch cold
Thank you, Aubrey.
in the refrigerator.
Thank you.
Not necessarily frozen, but in a refrigerator through the winter. It's in there.
Oh, it's in the
I put it in the slot.
Something flower.
Are you familiar with these seats? Me neither. Are you familiar with these seats, Richard?
They look familiar, but I can't remember the plant.
He said basket.
Oh, really?
Basket flower, but I don't know what
This
it looks
one?
like.
Slightest idea.
But your other one,
Seems like I've picked these out of my sweater.
Oh,
That's what I
there's
was
something.
thinking.
Are these the ones that are all over the place right now? They're sticking to everything, but they're actually.
I may have just given you guys milkweed seed. I thought
Oh,
I
good.
saw.
I'm gonna look at it anyway.
Oh,
Okay, so it's milkweed seed. Wonderful.
Which,
Good. I
which file
love
do you need them to
milkweed
open,
seeds.
Robert?
Which file is it on?
Just go to the top of the, oh, you can do it from the top there.
It's in file called chosen,
Mm-hmm.
in that file?
Mm-hmm.
File
Is it in that folder, or is it one of the,
folders?
I think he's
Which one
gonna
is it?
scroll through all the pictures in the folder probably.
Yeah, these are individual things.
Oh, they're individual pictures?
There.
Yeah,
like,
Okay.
double click on one of those, and you might be able to just arrow forward.
yeah,
Should be able to.
yeah.
No?
Yes.
Oh, accept. Decline.
Oh, it wants to update.
Oh, we do want to decline.
Came up behind it. There you go.
That's what,
There
I
we
guess we do.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
okay, that is,
Yeah.
Still connected, Pete?
that's called sand milkweed. And it's got see the long feelers? That's called a longhorn grasshopper, and it's a young one, which might be classed as a nymph. And the, milkweed is the Asclepias. What do we call it, John Rule?
What's that, Syriaca?
No, that's not Syriaca, that's,
That's common now.
well, these seeds I've given you guys, they're common milkweed seeds. I thought I had brought basket flower seeds. I've got a good many of these too. Anyway, that milkweed blooms in late spring, but it's available, has big leaves, and it feeds monarch caterpillars from the first generation that comes back from Mexico. This will be one of the species that they'll see.
Try right, left.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
left.
see if
here.
that'll do it.
There you go.
There you
Okay.
go. Cool.
This one is called purple milkweed. Looks pink, doesn't it?
It does.
But purples and pinks on flowers, the names are never exactly what you see is not what they are called necessarily. And that's a tiny skipper. Skippers are similar, they're butterflies, but they look a little more like a moth. They're all skippers are fairly small, and they have different feelers, different wing configurations, and so forth. But that one would be about the size of your thumbnail in reality. And this is a female goldfinch photographed on September the 3rd. That's a basket flower,
Oh.
and she's been pulling the seeds out. They're about the size of the ones you've got here, but these are not really them.
They look like tiny black beans.
Yeah.
They're basket flower seeds, and there are more in the husk than you believe, and if you keep working on the husk, eventually more will come out after you've given up. They produce quite a lot, really.
And you see the birds on them, they will work on one plant a good while, but they don't probably get down, like John says, they don't get all the seeds out of a basket. So it might be 20 or 30 in one of those baskets. I've never actually counted how many are in them. But anyhow, you know goldfinches, there's a possibility this is a male because I'm not Joe Neal and I can't tell you which it is. The reason I can't tell is September the 3rd, the males that were out there in their bright yellow colors have started to molt and change. So the male's going to look pretty close to what the female does in the wintertime. Okay, this is a thistle. Now, you see the dangerous spikes on those leaves, and you know to be careful there. And that is, John, can you tell me which species of,
The thistle?
no, of it's a swallowtail butterfly, I'm not sure which one, because a bunch of them are black with blue and orange spots like that, but the arrangement's different. And each of those species has a different host plant. See, this is not, here you are.
Would there be a red spotted purple?
No, a red spotted purple, that's not really a swallowtail.
No.
But this one
That's true,
could be a black swallowtail,
yeah.
or it could be a spice bush swallowtail.
Hey, Aubrey,
And
are
it's-
these all from Pinnacle? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them are within a very short walk of my house.
Isn't that a extremely controversial plant?
What, the
Even-
thistle?
Even beyond,
This is a U.S. native thistle. This is not the one that the government outlawed for cattle farmers or anybody to have in their pastures
this
years
isn't
ago.
milk thistle.
No. This is a good thistle. And the way you can tell that is if you turn a thistle leaf up, the bottom of it is white. You may tell that a little bit there. But on a bull thistle or the other, there are two species, I believe, of non-native thistles, and they have green on both sides, top and bottom of the leaves. So this is also, in addition to being useful for nectar for the butterflies, the birds eat the thistle seeds. Some of you have feeders, may have bought thistle seeds to, well, you can just pick them in the wild. And if you want to get out and find those places.
Are the flowers the same on the good ones and the bad ones?
No, there are
I see.
differences. I don't have pictures of the bad ones here,
Okay.
just on purpose, because I don't love them. Okay, this is called an Illinois bundle flower. That flower is not a whole lot bigger than your thumb either. These are wildly blown up and zoomed up on and so forth. And you see you can tell by the leaf structure that it is in a category of plants that include peas and beans and legumes. And that's not all that rare here on the open prairies and around the old farms and stuff, but it's certainly not in everybody's garden, and it's a beautiful little flower. Okay, this is a monarch caterpillar. It's on another species of milkweed. It's on the Asclepias tuberosa. This is also known as butterfly weed, and but it's butterfly milkweed. And you can see that big old caterpillar, who's only about the length of your little finger in reality and no bigger around, is eating off the flower area. Those caterpillars will eat every part. If there's not but one milkweed plant there and there's one caterpillar, it'll try to eat it all till it gets, a moment comes after a couple of weeks of eating that it just becomes a chrysalis. It hooks itself up on a stem and curls up, and then if you watch it for 2 or 3 days, suddenly you'll come back and look, and it's this shiny thing hanging there. Beautiful. And I may have a picture of one of those on here. This is senna, and these are fairly small flowers, beautiful native plant. The way you can tell it's a small one is that ant is like your little fingernail. And so, of course, this is a cropped photo, and I try to shoot them up close or zoom in from a distance, whatever it takes. Anybody know what flower that is? goldenrod. There are
It's
many
goldenrod?
species of goldenrod, and in Arkansas, you'll see ones that bloom early and late are different, and they have different configurations of the heads. This butterfly is a member of the American lady, maybe, or what's the other lady? Anyway,
Painted lady?
painted lady or American lady. They're very similar. They are different. If I had the two of them together, we could talk about the differences. But anyway, that one, I'm not sure what their host plant is, but all these butterflies that you see and all these little moths and all, they have different host plants in so many cases. I think that's maybe the same type butterfly, and it's on a
Buttonbush?
buttonbush, thank you. I depend on the audience here. Please.
We were
Pop
giving
up.
those away at farmer's market this week.
Huh?
We were giving button bushes away at
Uh-huh.
farmer's market. Yep.
Nice.
And there are strips of these on Pinnacle Prairie there, where you can tell the old flow of the water was off of the mountain over to the east, to the southwest and northwest. The water flows into one little stream through there. It meets, actually the streams get together, part of them do in World Peace Wetland Prairie, which is just to the east toward Duncan Avenue. So these are things, my dad called them button willows. John, did your dad?
Down in the south part of the state, they grow actually in the water, and that we always call them button willows. Up here in my area where the steep mountains wide, they grow usually on rock ledges where water dribbles down and so forth. They stay beautiful for quite a long time.
Yeah, they bloom in July into August, maybe in June into late July. It depends every year on the rain and so forth, how long they stay in bloom, I think. Okay, this is in the sulfur family, probably called a cloudy sulfur. You can see the yellow tells you it's a sulfur butterfly, and it's also on a milkweed. That's the good thing about milkweeds. They don't just feed the caterpillars of monarchs. They also provide nectar for many species of butterflies and bees. There's a doe with her fawn. That doe actually had 2 fawns. She's had 2 fawns for, I don't know, at least 5 years that I've known she did. And sometimes